Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Sunday, March the 5th, race number 3 at Santa Anita, 6 furlongs. It's the Grade 3 Las Flores. Let's take a look at this field of older fillies and mares. Only a field of 5, Matt. I expect there to be a pretty solid favorite in the number 5, Constellation. She's now won 4 out of her last 5 races, including the La Brea.
I have to be honest, maybe the La Brea going in wasn't the strongest field that we've ever seen, but boy, I thought she did a lot of running, and I thought she ran really, really well. Just seems like that was the typical Hollendorfer move. Get a start into them off the bench, come back in a graded stake, they get the job done. She really hasn't done anything wrong in her career with the exception of that Cicada where she bombed at 1-5 or 1-10. I think she's very logical in here. I'm not going to be surprised at all if she wins. I picked her second just because I feel like she's going to take the lion's share of the money, isn't she?
I would think that she's going to be a fairly strong favorite off of that 95 Beyer speed figure. Far and away the best last Beyer in the race. She has a really wonderful outside post position that gives Flavien Prat plenty of options. You got to figure Sensitively is going to just try to go right to the front and blast off, fresh off the layoff. Constellation will likely be stalking on the outside. She did a lot of work in the La Brea. She was getting a little bit tired and drifted out, and she was 12-1 in that race. Maybe it was a situation where last time was the time to have her, but it just looks like Hollendorfer's found a really good spot in this short field outside post to get her started. Not a great bet, but the most likely winner.
And you wonder if this is the start of some bigger things down the road. She's proven it 7 furlongs in the past. I wonder if this is sort of the beginning of a campaign that maybe you culminate, maybe not the Madison, but maybe the Humana Distaff on Derby Day.
Sensitively, number 3 has not been out since August, where she fairly well bombed in the Grade 3 Rancho Bernardo Handicap. She was the favorite in that race. She got caught up in a torrid speed duel, and she paid the price. Now, this is a mare that has races and Beyer speed figures that indicate if she's right, she can easily win, and she's got big speed. The layoff is somewhat of a concern.
You can argue that she's the fastest horse in the race. She has plenty of Beyer speed figures that are good enough in her back pocket. You know she is the speed if she breaks. The interesting thing is, and you've always talked about it, you know, handle them like they're good horses. And Phil D'Amato just took her bit by bit by bit, and if you look at her entire page, the 3 times she's tried Stakes Company, she hasn't gotten the job done. I'm not saying that she can't in here. Obviously, controlling speed at Santa Anita is important, but it's hard to trust her at too short a price.
All 5 of these fillies and mares, as you see by that entry card, are Keeneland graduates, including the 2 Watch This Cat. And boy, Richard Baltas has done a great job with Watch This Cat. He took her for $32,000 last summer. She's won her last 3 races, 2 on turf going down the hill. And last time out, I think she got a nice situation, a race that was washed off the turf. She happened to fire in a short field of horses that were suspect on dirt. I am not sold that dirt is all of a sudden her favorite surface.
Yeah, agreed. I think she's really, really strong going down the hill. Problem is you're limited as far as your opportunities at this level anyway. I agree. I'm wait and see. If she gets it done on dirt, then she's an entirely different animal, but I don't like her.
Baltas also has the 1 Ponder Lee, making her second star off a short layoff. At the end of the day, she just seems a little bit too slow on the speed figures.
She's also won 3 times, and all 3 of them have come out right on the lead. I can't imagine, even from the rail, her making the front with Sensitively.
Let's take a look at our top selections for Sunday's Race of the Day. And remember, folks, head on over to that Race of the Day event page on DRF.com and download those free Formulator past performances. You're like the 4, Pretty in Cool for trainer Bob Baffert. Now, we haven't seen her since early September. Baffert ran her on the turf. I wondered what that was all about, and it preceded a gigantic layoff. But she was pretty good when she was right. As a 2-year-old, she did some good things last year.
Yeah, you know, she's a bizarre one for me because I have to be honest, I didn't like her as a 2-year-old. And then it seemed like last year when she finally came back, I liked her in that return effort in that restricted stakes race. And then she ran in the Rancho Bernardo where I think she was just too close to Sensitively throughout. And you see the 2 of them backed up. And the winner that day, you had Terra's Tango and you also had Enchanting Lady. They came from well out of it. So it seemed like the race sort of was against them the way it was run. The turf start was obviously a concern. I don't really know what you want to do with that. But Baffert has a tremendous history of horses off of long, long layoffs, coming back into graded stakes races. And I think the way that you laid it out, Sensitively goes. I know Constellation is from the outside, but I think she a similar trip to what she had with Finley's Lucky Charm.
Right, sit right off.
And if those 2 go at it, I think Pretty and Cool sits the perfect trip. Whether she's good enough or not, we'll find out. But I think she's the 3rd of the 3 choices in here, price-wise.
And I wouldn't even be surprised if Garcia breaks with Pretty and Cool, lets Sensitively go, and says, listen, that horse is coming off a long layoff. And the last time they faced, you're right, Pretty and Cool ran the better race. They were both involved in a duel. Pretty and Cool ran 4th. Sensitively plummeted to the back back of the pack. Maybe Pretty and Cool, if Sensitively isn't ready, inherits this thing turning into the stretch, and now the onus is on Constellation to come and get her. You did mention Baffert's phenomenal record off these kind of long layoffs. Matt's going to go with the 4, Pretty and Cool. I think Constellation is the horse to beat. The price not very appetizing, however. She'll be my top selection in our race of the day. And if you're playing the Santa Anita Sunday card from home, a $300 sign-up bonus is just waiting for new DRF Bet subscribers at drf.com/trifecta. Approximate post time for race number 3 at the Great Race Place on Sunday, 1:30 Pacific. Best of luck.